Fala galera do VGBR, Bernardo aqui, estamos no stand da CI Games para dar uma olhada no Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Eu tô aqui com o Jess Lebo, ele vai falar um pouco do jogo pra gente. Alright, so Jess, what can you tell us a little about the story of the game, the setting?
So you are an American Special Forces operative operating illegally behind enemy lines in the country of Georgia. The Americans, NATO, the UN are fighting a proxy war against the Russians through a civil war that's taking place inside Georgia. And you have to infiltrate, learn a bunch of information, try and figure out what the Russians are doing there. It turns out that they're building a uranium enrichment facility there, trying to avoid international detection, and then the story builds from there. But we'll be releasing more information on that later.
The story takes place in an open world, right? How big is that? How much will players be able to explore?
There'll be a lot of exploration. There'll be, obviously there's a story that's got linear aspects to it. Certain things take place after you've discovered other things. But you're going to have to prepare for those missions, right, by doing reconnaissance, and there's all sorts of open world activities, including side quests we call war crimes, things that are happening in the region. Since it's an open world, right, there's a day-night cycle and there's a dynamic weather system, and these events take place on a timeline, right? They're not going to just wait there for you, right? The world is moving. So if you're quick about it, you can do quite a bit out in the open world, yeah.
Okay, and well, obviously you said that the world is, it won't wait for you, like stuff happens. What were the steps taken to make the world feel alive, like it's going on, even like it's not waiting around for you?
Well, so because we have a day-night cycle, we have certain things that take place at different times of day. For example, there's a crime faction that you can work with, or potentially anger, and if they give you missions, you can take those. But also they might be involved in, say, a black market, and that'll take place only at night in certain locations. And then you'll encounter certain things. So, for example, if the Russians are, they've moved into this mining community, right, and they've taken over the mine. They're using the underground part to build their facility. The mining community is not all that happy about it. They've been pressed into working. Some of the people are complaining about it. Maybe they're being held or interrogated. If you happen across this, you can choose to help or not help, right? But if you wait too long, that person potentially could be gone, right? And potentially executed, or maybe let go, get escaped, or, and so things. When I say they don't wait around, I mean there is a timeline, right? Everything is there's an expiration date.
Okay. And well, talking a little bit about the missions specifically, since it's an open world, I guess the missions are also open-ended in how you approach them. How is that like, creating missions where there's not one singular path the player can follow that always lead to success? There's like all these options that he has.
Well, so the missions are sort of like your orders from your commanders, right? These are the targets that you've got. But you have different. We like to set up challenges, and then give you the tools to execute those challenges. So, for example, if you're going to kill a target, which would be a natural thing to do in a sniper game, right?
Yeah.
You would have lots of different locations you could do it from. You have lots of different ways. You could use a rifle, you could use a pistol, a machine gun, you could use a knife. If you watch that person and they have certain habits, you might be able to hide in a location when they go to meet with somebody else. You could ambush them, kill them with a knife, or you could try and take a 300-meter shot, and take them out from a distance. But it doesn't, you could do it stealthily, you could do it in broad daylight, you could do it while the alarm has been raised. It doesn't matter how you complete that objective, just that you do.
Okay. And well, what are the tools? You already talked about the knife and obviously the sniper, because it's the name of the game. Yeah. But what are other tools will the player have at his disposal to get the job done?
So probably the coolest is the drone. You've got a personal drone that you can use to do reconnaissance. In the game, enemies don't just show up. You don't get a mission to kill a guy and then there's an X on your map, right? You have to find them. So every enemy that shows up on your minimap, you tag. You can do that visually through your scope, and also through your drone, which was probably your best tool for reconnaissance. But you can also use it to hack into computers and to get into security cameras, to get intel about certain targets. That's probably the coolest.
Okay. And well, the player can select loadouts for missions, right? He can switch out weapons, but he can also customize weapons. Like, how deep is weapon customization in the game?
It's pretty deep. You know, you'll have many different rifles, but then each one of them you'll be able to customize the scope and the bullets, different pieces of the rifle to fit your play style, but also to be able to increase accuracy or perhaps increase damage. The scope will continue to grow probably over time, but it's going to be quite deep, yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, and finally, the game is focused on stealth, so I'm guessing people who are more accustomed to games like Call of Duty, which are more aggressive running gun CQB, they won't have that much of a leeway there, right?
Well, so, you know, we want this to be a unique experience. We want this to be a very realistic experience. We want this to be more tactical. We think that gamers, and we've seen that here through E3, people are very excited about something that's different, right? We're not giving them another run and gun, another linear shooter. So yeah, it takes some time to move from that mindset to this, but once you do, the tension and the emotion that comes through is really rewarding. And we've seen that time and again that people play the demo and they're really enjoying it. So we're hoping that we're providing, you know, a unique, realistic experience.
All right. Well, that's it. Thanks a lot for your time, man.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see the final game.
Thanks.
All right. E é isso aí, galera. Pra ficar sabendo de tudo da CI Games, de Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, ideia 3 2015, fica ligado no vgbr.com. Valeu.
Game, música, anime, é só dar play.